YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Fultzs back here with another video here on the channel. Today, I'm completely off. It's been a long time. I've been super busy with things. I've been doing shit. Me and my family went on a family vacation, and then we had like some company over, so I literally couldn't do shit. But
this is your first impression.
we're back, and we're not leaving. We ain't fucking
forward.
leaving. So without further ado, we are reacting to outdoor YouTubers who didn't return home. Yeah, let's do it.
Storm Debuel was a 22-year-old Belgian YouTuber known for sharing his adventures across Northern Europe. He never spoke in any of his videos and instead used the ambient sounds of nature to make his viewers feel like they were right there with him. And while he started uploading videos in August of 2024, he'd actually been solo camping ever since he was just 19 years old. At one point, he even biked over 3,700 miles or over 6,000 kilometers across Sweden all on his own. So
yeah, also, people that do this, you, like, actually are fucking, like, you're not stupid, but you're fucking, like, damn near there. You're right there. You're right there.
Oh, he had plenty of experience surviving in the wilderness alone. However, when nature turns unpredictable, even the most prepared adventurers find themselves struggling to survive. Tragically, that's exactly what happened with Storm on the night of October 29th, 2024. He was recording another video, this time traveling through the Jokkmokk region located in the Swedish Lapland.
Why would you
known
even want to
for
do
its
that?
Beautiful snowy vistas and frequent aurora sightings. Now, Storm usually parked his car in a nearby town and then ventured into the wilderness on foot with his camping gear. These trips often lasted multiple days, sometimes even a whole week before he made it back. October 29th was the last day of one of these trips. He was making his way back and was only a day's walk away from his car, but it was quickly getting dark and continuing to walk would have been
I'm only like a day's way walk way. Whoa, I don't know, but fuck that, bro.
extremely dangerous. So Storm made the decision to set up his tent and sleep for the night. A cold breeze was already sweeping through the region, prompting Storm to mound snow around his tent as a makeshift barrier before going to sleep.
Okay.
Unfortunately, nothing could have prepared him for the extreme weather he was about to encounter. Because just a few hours after setting his tent, the Jokkmokk region got hit by an intense blizzard with winds reaching up to 75 miles per hour or around 120 kilometers per hour.
Okay, that's
Snow
light.
quickly started piling up all around his tent as well. But worst of all, the temperature not only fell below freezing to 21 Fahrenheit or -6 Celsius, the strong wind made it feel as cold as 0 Fahrenheit or -18 Celsius.
Bro, that ain't
He
shit.
realized
That
the
is a
gravity of his
warm,
situation.
that is a warm winter day in Canada. That is a warm winter day. This guy's a pussy abby.
At this point and wanted to contact his loved ones. Because at around midnight, his friend received a video of him showing his tent getting torn apart by the terrifyingly strong wind, with him stating, "Tonight it's going to get worse, Jesus Christ." He also called his grandmother right after and reassured her of his safety, stating, "It's snowing heavily here, but don't worry, I'll survive, you know." Then, at 2:36 a.m., the Swedish authorities received an SOS call from Storm. He reported multiple injuries, including a broken nose, and requested immediate help. Unfortunately, the strong wind made it impossible to reach him with a helicopter, and the snow obstructed any rescue efforts on the ground. The blizzard eventually subsided at around 10 a.m., and the rescuers rushed to Storm's last known location. Sadly, by the time they found him, it was already too late.
How does he
The
die?
lower half of his body had turned purple due to the extreme cold, and even the blood on his face from the broken nose was frozen solid. Oddly enough, he was found roughly 1.6 miles or 2.6 kilometers away from his collapsed tent. It's unclear if he was forced to ditch the tent after it collapsed or if he set out before that happened. In either case, he was walking towards his car when he likely fell, broke his nose, and then contacted the authorities. The only silver lining in Storm's tragic end is that at least he died doing what he loved, as he told his father when he first started going on these solo camping trips, "Dad, it took me a long time to know what I wanted, but that's what I want." Hannah Rose Moody was a 31
So, let me break this down. You're gonna go out in the fucking snow, and it's only -18, which, like, isn't, like, that cold. Like, it's cold, but it's not that fucking cold. You're gonna go out there and not have the appropriate fucking attire on your body to stay out in the cold for 10 hours. Like, all you need, like, 2 layers of pants, maybe 3, and then, like, 4 layers up, and you're good. That's just L. Like, how do you not, like, that's just L.
Year-old YouTuber and influencer from Scottsdale, Arizona. And while most of her content on YouTube revolved around her faith as a Christian,
Oh,
her
Jesus.
Instagram account posted mostly different content. There, she made regular posts about her hiking adventures across the rocky desert terrain of Arizona. Hitting the trails several times a week had become a natural part of her routine ever since she moved to Arizona 6 months earlier. And
You could not catch me doing that shit. If I get ate by a rattlesnake, it's over. I'm done. You cannot catch me
May
doing this shit. I like being in
21st was
this room.
supposed to be no different.
I like being
She
in this
got up
room, and that's
early and
it.
quickly drove to the Gateway Trailhead located in the McDowell Sonoran Preserve. She parked her car and began the roughly 4.5 mile or 7 kilometer hike across the Loop Trail. It was a moderately challenging trail with a rocky path and noticeable elevation changes, but nothing Hannah hadn't tackled before. She felt fairly confident she could finish the hike in under 3 hours and even made plans to hang out with friends at lunch. Unfortunately, what started as just another ordinary hike ended with a devastating tragedy. Her friends were the first to sense something was wrong when Hannah didn't show up for lunch on time. She didn't send any messages about
Okay, well,
running
tell me
late
what's
and
wrong.
wasn't picking up her phone either. It wasn't like her to ghost people out of nowhere. So, after waiting at the restaurant for many hours, her friends decided to check on Hannah at her home at around 7:50 p.m., hoping she was simply resting after a tough hike. But when they arrived at her house, her car was missing from the driveway, the lights were off, and the door was locked. Seeing this, they immediately contacted the authorities. They found her car still parked at the trailhead, and it wasn't long before the search party was looking for Hannah across the Gateway Loop Trail with helicopters, drones, and canines. The search was eventually called off at 11:30 p.m. due to the darkness, and resumed the next morning with even more people partaking in the search.
Okay.
This went on till about 12:05 p.m. when a helicopter pilot made the heartbreaking discovery Hannah's friends and family were dreading all night.
Okay.
Just 600 yards off the trail, rescuers discovered the remains of Hannah Moody lying face down on the desert ground.
That's up.
Hannah was dead, and likely had been for several hours. However, there was nothing that could explain her end right away. There were no signs of foul play, no intoxicating substances were found in her system, and she didn't even have any serious head injuries from a fall or stumble. With that, the only explanation investigators were able to come up with was that Hannah lost her life due to extreme heat. You see, the temperature in the Gateway Trail region soared to over 102 Fahrenheit, or about 39 Celsius the day prior.
You gotta be some type of motherfucker to go out in plus 40 and walk. See, this is just people being stupid. This is just people being plain old
When
fucking
Hannah was
stupid.
hiking. She likely suffered from a heat stroke and wandered off the designated path in confusion before collapsing and eventually passing away, leaving her YouTube and Instagram videos as an unintentional final goodbye to her loved ones.
I mean, that is kind of, yeah, that's kind of cool, I guess. But
that yes to credit from Capital One.
I
gives
gotta
me
fart.
a sense of
This is
security,
just people being
like kids are
stupid.
into
Like,
a
if
lot of
it's
programs.
100 out, don't go on
Finn
a fucking
Creaney was a
walk.
33-year-old survival expert from the Pitt County area in Scotland.
Sorry, but if you're on this video, you're not an expert. Okay? You're not. You're not an expert if you're on this video.
Utilizing the skills he had, Finn operated a survival school in the area called Wildcat Bushcraft, teaching kids general wilderness survival skills as well as bushcraft. Which, for those who don't know, includes things like foraging, hunting, and building shelter out of natural materials.
That looks like a
The
great
business
shelter,
was
yeah.
also accompanied by a YouTube channel of the same name, where Finn shared his knowledge and experience with the world for free. His content was both informative and entertaining, allowing him to slowly build a small but loyal audience. What these viewers didn't realize, however, was that one day, this very channel would also play a role in Finn's tragic end. Things went south on the 25th of March 2022 when Finn was dropped off at the B873 road near Loch Naver in Sutherland. His goal was to head south and hike the 45-mile distance to the small village of Golspie and make a video about the bushcrafting skills he had used along the way.
Okay.
Now, his family knew the journey would take more than a day, so they weren't too concerned when he didn't reach his destination right away. But then 3 days passed and there was no sign of Finn anywhere. Even more concerning was the fact that he didn't make any contact throughout this time, with every call from his family going straight to voicemail.
Okay.
So on day 3, Finn's father
God.
called the police and filed a missing person.
I thought that was Finn. I was
all
like,
while
fuck.
holding on to the hope that his son was simply lost, had broken his phone, or was just taking his time on the hike. Sadly, that couldn't have been further from the truth.
Yeah.
In reality, Finn had somehow vanished from the area without a trace.
Okay.
And despite the police spending months searching the area surrounding Loch Naver, they couldn't find a single clue about his current whereabouts. Finn was even featured on a British unsolved mystery-style show about missing people called Vanished.
Jesus.
But that also led nowhere. However, even after a year of fruitless searching, his father Mark didn't give up and kept looking for his son on his own. And after 19 months of following the same routine, he finally found the first real clue: Finn's backpack, partially hidden in the bushes along the bank of Loch Naver.
Why didn't?
While
How
Mark
did the
never
cops not find that
disclosed
shit?
exactly what was inside, it gave him and the rest of Finn's family reason to believe that Finn had tried to take a shortcut across the loch and ended up drowning by accident. So, after searching for his body for a few more months, they made the tough decision to stop searching and accept the fact that Finn was truly gone.
God.
That said, many on the internet find it hard to believe that Finn actually tried to swim across the Naver and lost control in the
I would say he probably got killed by a skinwalker. Or some shit. Because why would you try to fucking swim across a fucking lake?
process.
That would be
Many
stupid.
asked why a professional survivalist would make such a rookie mistake, especially when he still had a multiple miles-long journey ahead of him, even if he had somehow made it across the Loch Naver. This doubt has given rise to many alternative theories that attempt to explain his mysterious disappearance. These range from fairly out there speculations like Finn doing this to fake his own death and build a new life.
I mean,
to
yeah,
some
there you go.
truly chilling hypotheticals like Finn going into the loch on purpose to end it all.
Oh, God.
Unfortunately, there just isn't enough evidence to confirm or deny any of these theories.
Well, you
What
never know,
exactly
right?
happened to Finn remains a mystery to this day. Andrew Cross was a 36-year-old outdoor YouTuber from Grand Junction, Colorado.
Okay.
His channel, Desert Drifter, featured
wow.
content that could
Wow.
only be described as archaeology mixed with exploration. He visited and made videos about
Wow, so he's like fucking. This guy was like legit and passed. Wow.
any place he found interesting, from thousands years old stone walls to abandoned German spy caves from World War II. Beyond just being educational, his videos also boasted top-tier production quality, helping Andrew amass a massive audience in just 14 months on YouTube. Most importantly, his viewers loved his content and eagerly waited for the next upload. But then Andrew suddenly stopped posting after his upload in January 2025. Some assumed
wow,
he
this
was
is
simply
recent.
taking a break, while others figured the delay was due to his next video taking longer to produce. It wasn't until the 2nd of February that viewers received the truth from Andrew's wife, Evelyn. And it was far worse than any of his fans could have imagined. Andrew had gotten into a horrible car accident. He was waiting at a stoplight on the intersection between 1st Street and North Avenue in Grand Junction while on his way back from shooting a video about the Bears Ears National Monument in Utah on January 31st, 2025. When, out of nowhere, an out-of-control car rear-ended Andrew at an extremely high speed, resulting in his car flipping over and causing severe brain damage.
Jesus.
He was rushed to a
that's
nearby
awful.
hospital almost immediately. Unfortunately, it was already too late. He spent over a month in the ICU and was put on life support. During this time, it became abundantly clear that Andrew
See, that shit's so scary. Like, you could literally be just sitting in a light and then. I mean, he's probably from the States, so it's like way more likely because them motherfuckers are crazy down there. But anyway, so this guy, I mean,
sadly had no chance of recovering from his injuries.
yeah.
So
That's-
on
he
March
didn't
4th
leave,
at around 10:50 a.m.,
you know.
his family made the difficult decision to let him rest and remove the life support system keeping him on the edge of life. This was devastating news for his hundreds of thousands of fans who were blissfully looking forward to his next upload not too long ago. These fans also banded together and raised over $544,000
Good
for
shit.
Andrew's family in their time of need.
good shit. Anyway, that was clickbait, but that's fun. Yeah, I mean, decent video. I mean, if anything, I was shit in that video. But if you guys enjoyed, make sure to drop a sub, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Oh, I gotta stop the recording. Ha ha. Ah!